Okay, hello teachers, and again, welcome to our YouTube channel kung saan pinag-uusapan natin ang shift to online distance learning. Okay, so far, maraming tayong na-cover na Google for Education tools. At ngayon, pag-uusapan na naman natin ang isa pa rin sa mga Google for Education tools, ang Google Meet. Okay, so ano nga ba ang Google Meet? Ito ay isang video conferencing tool na ginawa ni Google. It's a paid app. Pero last May lang, inopen to ni Google for all Gmail users ko. So regardless kung ikaw ay paying or not, you'll be able to use Google Meet. Okay, so that's one of the biggest advantage of using Google Meet. Meron kang um, higher accessibility because it's free. Okay, so hindi mo kailangan magbayad. Although alam ko, yung ibang mga video conferencing tools like Zoom, MS Teams, and WebEx, meron din silang mga free features or free versions. Okay, that's also a good one. But I think may certain advantages that we can um, associate sa paggamit ng Google Meet. Okay, so yan ang pag-uusapan natin. How to use Google Meet, maximize the use of it using extensions, and of course, preview sa mga upcoming upgrades or updates ng Google Meet. Okay, na I think will definitely challenge Zoom and other video conferencing tools. Okay, so to begin with, let's access Google Meet. Okay, so meron kang several access points ng Google Meet, and one of them would definitely be just like many conferencing tools. Google for Education tools is through your email. Okay, so when you open your email, you'll see an option here, okay, which is Meet, okay, your Google Meet. Two options, to start a meeting or to join a meeting, okay? So if you are a student, okay, and you're not hosting a meeting, okay, so you'll be joining a meeting. Okay, so when you click on that, okay, it's going to ask for a meeting code. Okay, so you'll have to get that from your teacher or whoever is um, hosting the video conferencing. Okay. Later on, I'll be showing you where to get the meeting code to share with your student or to your guests. Okay. But for this demo, we'll be starting a meeting. Okay, so let's just click on that. Okay. Normally, when you click on that button, it will right away bring you to Google Meet into a different window. Okay. Um, but for this video tutorial, we'll be opening it as a new tab. Okay, I'll explain later why I have to open it in a new tab. Okay, so here, when you open your Google Meet, okay, you'll be able to see yourself. Okay, so a preview of your video. This gives you option to see how you look like before you present yourself to others. Okay, so you can check your lighting, your background, the video quality itself. Okay, or you can actually turn that off. Okay, so if you want to enter the meeting or the conference, okay, without a video first, okay, because you don't want to show yourself first, you can actually turn that off. Okay, and when you enter the meeting, you'll have your video turned off right away. Okay, by default. Okay, you can see below that your microphone is turned off as well. Okay, so that's a good thing. Please, I suggest that you keep that turned off, okay, as you enter your meeting, just to provide a smoother entrance. Kasi kapag bigla ka na lang pumasok with all your background noise, etc., it's going to disrupt, okay, the video conference, especially kung late ka na. Okay, so medyo mahirap na yan. Okay, so let's just keep that turned off. Okay. Let's turn on our camera. Okay. Okay. So here at the right side, okay, so you have your option to join now or to present now. Okay. And also right here, okay, you also have your joining info as well. Okay. So that is the one you're going to share to your students. Okay. Please take note that the entire thing is a link. Okay, so when you share that to your students, like via Messenger or via email or via Viber, when they click on that, it's going to bring them to your conference. Okay, and if they have an application in their devices, in their mobile devices, okay, yes, you can actually download Google Meet into your mobile devices, iOS or Android devices, okay. It's going to open automatically the Google Meet application, okay, and it's going to bring them to your meeting, okay. But if they are going to access your meeting via their Gmail, okay, this is the one they're going to need. This is your class, the meeting code, okay. So the 10, okay, letter combination is your meeting code. Okay, so it's a unique one per meeting, unless you created a recurring Google Meeting, which I'm also going to show you later on. That should be different every time. Okay, so every time you open a different meeting, it's going to have a different meeting code. Okay, just to protect us and to keep us secure. Okay, so that's one of the security features provided by Google. Okay, so when you want to enter your meeting, you're ready. Just click on join now. Okay, so let's click on that. Okay. Okay, and similar, okay, you're also going to be prompted once again to your joining info. So these are your joining info, the link, the code, etc. Okay. Below you have the option to directly add people. Okay, so you can actually do that as well. You can type in, enter their emails. Okay, if you want to um, send them an invite. Okay, so for example, you want to invite your students or a co-teacher of yours. Okay, you can actually type in their emails here. But just take note that when you're adding your a guest, okay, take note of the limitations of domains. Okay, so if you're belonging to a particular domain, you cannot invite someone outside of your domain. Okay. Likewise, if you are using a personal account, okay, you cannot invite someone that belongs to a particular domain. So domains like mga .edu, .gov, those are very particular domains. Okay, so they cannot um, join those meetings. Okay, that's one of the security features as well. So that if you're using a G Suite account or a particular domain, okay, your meetings are secured. Okay, so may konting security flaw if you are using a personal account. Okay, so especially kung nag-leak bigla yung meeting code mo, makakapasok na lang sila agad dun sa meeting mo, okay, without you giving them permission. Unless you specifically don't share the meeting code and personally invite everyone na lang para lang mas secured yung meeting mo. Which I suggest, okay? If you're just going to meet like 2 to 3 people, just send them or invite them directly, okay? But of course, that's going to be hard if you are meeting a 40 plus okay, students, okay? Here at the lower left, okay, you also have, again, once again, your joining info. So you can view it here, your joining info and meeting code. Right here, you have your attachments. Okay, what are attachments? Okay, if you created your Google Meeting in your Google Calendar, okay, and nag-attach ka ng documents doon, like a PDF, a Google document, or an image, okay, it will also be shown here. Okay, so sa meeting mo, you can actually view those attachments. Okay, so, but as long as you attach them dun sa Google event, Google Calendar event na ginawa mo. Okay? Okay. At the center, you have your basic button. So you have your microphone button. Okay, so you can turn on, turn that off. Okay. You also have your camera. Okay, you can turn that on, off. Okay. It's a good way to manage your video conferencing, especially for example you have problems with connectivity. So you can ask your students to turn off their cameras, or the students can turn off their camera. But of course, medyo mahirap yun because if we will not be able to monitor them altogether. Okay, so um, turning on and off your audio is also a good and important thing to establish in your classroom, in your video conferencing, especially if it's in your class, so that they know when to use the microphones and not to use the microphones. Okay, you have to establish that, or else you'll be having like multiple people speaking at the same time, and you'll not be able to really convey your message. Okay, so importante, ma-establish ang routine when to turn on and when to turn off your audio. Okay? There's also this accessibility feature, turning on caption. You can actually turn that on, and it's going to generate a caption below your video. So whenever you speak, okay, Google will translate it into text, okay, so that if there's someone with auditory problems in your class or in your guests, they'll be able to still follow you through the caption generated by Google. Of course, it's not perfect. It's going to have like problems in terms of translating your audio into text, okay? But nonetheless, it's going to give them the idea of what you're saying, okay? Okay, you also have your present now button. Okay, so if you want to present a presentation, your screen, a window, you do it here. Okay, so you click on that. Okay, it's going to give you three options. Okay, one would be to present your entire screen. Second is a window and a Chrome tab. Okay, so when you want to present the entire screen, okay, so whatever you're seeing your screen, and you want your students to see it, okay, you choose your entire screens. Okay, so for example, if we do that, okay, and then we choose which screen we will share, okay, we click on share, okay, it's going to show your students or your guests whatever you are doing your screen. Okay, so for example, right now, we are in this screen. Okay, so that's why there's an endless loop of my window, my screen right there. Okay. Okay, so anytime you want to stop, there's that floating options below. You have the stop sharing. Okay, so you just click on that and it's going to stop whatever you're sharing. Okay. There's also option to share a particular window. So if you're not going to show your entire screen because it's not always necessary, okay, you can actually just pick to show a window. Okay, just make sure that the window is open so that it can be accessed by Google Meet. Okay, so when you click on that, okay, it's going to give you options which window you'd like to share. Okay, so for example, you want to share a video. Okay, so right here. Let's click on that. Okay. And so you play the video, and it's going to be playing right here in Google Meet as well. Okay. That's a pre-recorded video. Okay. So when you want to stop that, okay, let's do stop sharing. Okay. And let's stop that as well. Okay. Okay, when you want to share, okay, your another like for example, your presentation. Okay, so let's choose a presentation, but again, make sure it's open so it can be accessed by Google Meet. Okay, so when you sh want to share that, okay, okay, so for example, this is the presentation you'd like to share. Okay, it's going to appear like this in your Google Meet. Okay, so you can see it. Okay, I won't be able to full screen my presentation or else it's going to cover whatever we're presenting right now or the entire Google Meet. Okay, so but basically whatever you do in your presentation, when you change slides, okay, present it, etc., it will be shown here. Okay, so your students will be able to see it. Okay. Normally, in your Google Meet, this will not be the view. Okay, I'm going to explain to you later why I have this kind of view. I have myself here and my presentation right here. Okay, that's going to be one of the things we're going to discuss also today. Okay, okay, so let's stop sharing that one. Okay, okay, you can also choose a particular Chrome tab. Okay, so for example, if you'd like to show a particular tab from Chrome, okay, a web page, okay, you can actually choose the Chrome tab. Okay, so you can select that. Okay, we're not going to select that because it's going to create a audio feedback. Okay, in this presentation or tutorial. Okay. Okay, so when you're done with that, okay, you have also other options to explore, okay, which I think very important. Okay, so your settings is also an important uh, tools, okay, for you to be familiar with para mas ma-maximize mo yung experience mo sa Google Meet. Okay, so one, you have your layout, okay, so right recently, dahil sa clamor ng audience and users of Google Meet, nagdagdag si Google Meet or si Google ng option, yung tiled. Okay? So na before, the maximum is around 4 tiles, okay? You can simultaneously see 4 people in your screen. But right now, you can actually see as much as 16. Okay, so of course, we don't have other participants right here, so we'll not be able to see how it looks like. Okay. Um, you also have, okay, the spotlight. Okay, so the spotlight basically, whoever is talking will be highlighted or will be put onto spotlight. Okay, you can also use the sidebar. It shows whoever is talking plus the rest of the guests on the side. Although using the screen or layout, you'll not be able to see everyone. Okay, so that's going to limit your monitoring capacity if you want to monitor your students. Okay. Okay, but of course, changing your view here won't change the view of your students. Okay, so this is your own personal view. Okay, okay. You also have, if you want to enter full screen. Okay, so you want to enter full screen. Okay, that's how it looks like in full screen. Okay, you can also turn off. Is also here the option to turn off captions. We already talked about that earlier. But I think the settings is a very helpful um, tool, okay, for us to maximize the use of Google Meet. Okay, so here you have your audio and video settings. Okay, so you can choose. Okay, for your microphone, example, let's use for example, I'm using a Logitech wireless headset right now. I can choose that. Okay. I can also choose speakers. Okay. The audio output of um, my laptop or my of Google Meet. Okay. So, but we're just using the internal speakers. Okay. Um, in video, okay, it's here. You can automatically the camera will choose whatever is available unless you're using a different camera. Okay, so if you have a webcam, it's going to recognize it as well. So you can choose that. Okay, here in send resolution, okay, you can actually choose the resolution of the video you're sending to your students. So whatever they're seeing. Okay, so for example, I want to them to see me in high definition. Okay, I can choose that. Okay. Here below, okay, we have the receives resolution. So this is the resolution of the videos you're receiving on your end. Okay, and for me personally, it's a very helpful to know and to change this. Okay, whenever you are conserving bandwidth. Okay, so if you're having problems in your connectivity or connection, do not choose a high definition for the receive resolution, okay, because it's going to eat up a lot of bandwidth. Okay, you can choose standard definition. It's going to lessen the bandwidth weight of your use. Okay, but I suggest that if there's really a big problem in terms of your connectivity, choose standard definition, one video at a time. So, anong mangyayari doon is basically, iti-turn off ni Google Meet lahat ng video, okay? Even if your guest did not turn off their cameras, it will be automatically turned off by Google Meet on your end, not on their end. You cannot turn off their cameras, okay? Um, and it will only show one video at a time, whoever is speaking. Or you can turn them off all at the same time and just focus on the audio of the people. Okay. So this is a good thing. You can change your settings right here so that you can save your bandwidth, your data. You can maximize the connectivity. Okay, of your Google Meet. Because it's very important sa ating connectivity because the moment um, you lose connection, mawawala ka din sa conference as well. Okay? Although you can rejoin naman. Okay? Okay, so tingnan natin ngayon ang paggamit ng mga extensions okay, sa Google Meet. Okay, so meron kang mga several options to download sa Chrome Web Store to enhance your experience using Google Meet. Okay, so although may mga limitations ang Google Meet, Okay? Um, Pwede ka mag-download ng mga extensions to mitigate itong mga flaws ng Google Meet. Okay, so for example, right now, I have here the grid view extension. Okay, so although meron ng tiled layout ang Google Meet, okay, medyo limited pa rin siya sa number of people that you can actually see per page. Okay, so the grid view extension provides you a grid view with more people in it. Okay, plus, ang maganda din dito sa grid view na to is that you are included in the grid. Okay, so you're not like excluded. You can see here sa upper right corner, that's usually you. Okay, if you don't have a grid view, okay, extension. So the grid view extension gives you that option. Okay, so let's unclick that one so I could still see my other account. Okay, okay. So you can check on only show participative videos if you want to limit the people in the grid with those with video only. So you can check on that. Okay. You can highlight speakers as well. Okay, so it's going to also create that highlight per speaker. Include yourself in the grid. Okay, so you can opt not to, or you can include it as well. Okay, so if you want to be part of the grid view, you can check that. Enable grid view by default. Okay, so I already checked on that one. So to be able to use grid view every time I open my Google Meet. Okay. So it's a what the grid view gives you is that it gives you the ability to monitor your students. Okay, because if you are, for example, you have students like 30 to 40 students, um, if you are using the tiled layout of Google Meet, okay, you'll only be able to see up to 16 people. Okay, so it means that you'll have to browse between pages, okay, to look at them. And at one point, you'll not be seeing half of your class. Okay, so Grid View gives you that option to increase the amount of people that you see in the grid. Okay. Plus, what's good about it is that when you're presenting, you can actually include the presentation in the grid. Okay, so you don't get out of the view of your students when you're presenting or when you're sharing your screen. You can actually see everyone else, okay, in the grid plus your presentation or whatever you're presenting. Okay. Second is that I also downloaded, okay, here. Okay, if you can see it, okay. Here, that is an extension called meeting attendance, okay, or basically what it does, it's going to generate automatically um, Google Sheets of people attending your meeting. Okay, so with the name and timestamp, they will that extension will record everyone coming into your meeting. Okay, when they come in, what's their name? Okay, and some other details. Okay, what I suggest is that when you use this, okay, you click on the attendance. Okay, at the start of the meeting. Okay, so it will generate whoever comes in at the start of the meeting. And you also create another one by simply clicking on it, okay, to um, take attendance who of those who are still in the meeting. Okay, because sometimes mamaya umalis na pala yung student mo, hindi mo pa napansin, and you can actually record that, okay? Or you can actually take attendance midway just to check who's leaving or who's not leaving your meeting, okay? Especially if it's your class, okay? You can toggle these buttons, okay? It simply says that it's on or it's turned off. Okay, if it's gray, it's turned off. If it's green, it's turned on. Okay, it's taking attendance right now. Okay, and once you're done with your meeting, it's going to generate that Google Sheet and send it to you into your Google Drive. Okay, so this extension will ask permission to have access to your Google Drive. Okay. Um, there's another extension, okay, that's really good, okay, because it's not in your Google Meet, and it's a good thing to use, especially if your students are um, uh, have a turned off audio, or you ask them to turn off their audio, but you still want them to give reactions to you whenever you talk or you present. Okay, so here at the lower upper left corner, okay, you have some reactions. Okay, you don't see that in your usual Google Meet. Okay, so you can give a thumbs up, thumbs down, virtual clap, hi, and some emojis. Okay, you can also raise your hand. Okay, that is called the nod extension. Okay, but the trick here is that both you, the teacher, and all your students will have to download the NUD extension for them to be able to use it, and so that whenever they send that reaction to you, they can actually see it on their screen. Okay, so only those with the NUD extensions can actually use it and see whenever someone is using it. Okay, so before you have your meeting, you can instruct them to download that Chrome extension from Chrome Web Store. All extensions being used here, you can find it in the description below. So do check it out if you want to download them. Okay. There's another one. There's a what they call the push to talk button. Okay. But basically, what it does is when I use my space bar, okay, I can uh, automatically turn on, turn off my audio. Sorry for the feedback. Okay, it's creating that feedback. Okay, and there's another one. Okay, but I won't be able to show it now. Okay, let's see. Okay, Um, the other one is what they call the dual-less extension. Okay, what it does is it splits your screen. So if you don't have a split screen function in your computer, it actually acts like that. Okay, so you can see your Google Meeting on one side and another window side by side your Google Meeting window. Okay, so if you're working multitasking, you can actually use that extension as well. Okay, so there's that the last extension I'd like to discuss is that if you want to change the background, okay, there's actually a background available for Google Meet. Okay, it's the virtual background for Google Meet. You can also find that in Chrome Web Store. But the uh, caveat lang for that extension is that it only works for a green screen. So you have to have a green screen. That's why I can't show it to you now because I don't have a green screen and it won't work. Okay. So those are some of the extensions I've used and are using in my Google Meet to enhance my experience. You can find more extensions, okay, but for me, these are the um, one a few of the really good ones, okay, in Chrome Web Store. But if you would like to find more, I'm also putting in my description the link to Chrome Web Store, so you could access it and see and look for check out for extensions that you'd like to use. Okay. 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 The last one is that the last few things, okay, so tingnan natin, is that you can actually also access your Google Meet or make a conference via Google Classroom. So if you're using a Google Classroom, okay, you'll be able to access or create a link for that. I'm going to show you that, okay. Let's just leave this meeting, okay. So when you leave your meeting, it's going to show you this, okay? You can rejoin if you want. So every time you unexpectedly cut off kasi nawalan ka ng signal, you can still rejoin that meeting, okay? Or return to home screen. Let's just exit that, okay? Um, if you are using, okay, a G Suite account, okay, for your class, okay, you can actually create a link for that. Okay, so if you can see here, there is already a Meet link created for my class. Okay, so if you every time you want to meet your class, okay, you can simply ask them to go to this link. So this is a unique link, a recurring link, okay, for your class. Okay, so it means you don't need to change it. Every time you have a meeting for your class, you can simply go here and meet your class in a video conference. Okay, although right now it only works for G Suite accounts. If you're using a personal account, you won't have this option um, in your Google Classroom. Okay. The other one is via Google Calendar. Okay. I have that in my other video, so I also be putting it in the link if you want to learn how to create Google Meet link, a recurring Google Meet link in your Google Calendar. It means that you don't need to change the code. The code remains the same every time per week or per day or whenever you want it to recur or to repeat. Okay? So the last one I'd like to show you, okay, is actually the upcoming the updates, okay, that we're hoping, okay. We're not 100% sure that Google will deliver all of this, okay, but it's in the talks, okay. It's in the discussions, okay, of what's coming in, okay, in the next few months in Google Meet, okay. So you have your digital whiteboarding. Okay, so you'll have the Jamboard directly integrated into your Google Meet. Jamboard is a separate application. Okay, so they're finding ways now to put that, okay, and link that to Google Meet so you could actually show a whiteboard and use it for lecture or etc. Okay. Right now, wala pang breakout rooms, pero there's a promise that you can actually create breakout rooms for small group discussions for your class. Okay. Meeting moderation controls. Okay. Right now, you can't mute everyone altogether. You can mute them one at a time. Okay. Um, but you cannot um, mute them altogether. Okay. So that's one of the limitations right there. Okay. You can also expect the background blur and replace. Okay, so the virtual background functionality. Right now, wala pa tayong ganon. So, la, that's one of the things we're expecting. Okay, although again, as I've told you, pwede ka mag-download ng extensions for now para makagamit ka ng background and replace your background in Google Meet. Okay? You have your raise your hand options din. So magkakaroon ka na rin ng mga icons that you can reactions inside Google Meet. But again, for now, pwede kang mag-download muna ng Nod extension. And of course, last one with the polling and questions, you can also integrate that inside your Google Meet. Okay, so these are the things we're looking forward. Okay, so right now, may mga limitations pa ang Google Meet, but I think there's a big potential for Google Meet as a video conferencing tool. Okay, so and plus again, it's free. Okay, so and there are no limits to time. There's as long as you're a Gmail user, you can actually use it. Okay, so those are the advantages so far of Google Meet. Okay. Okay, so hello teachers, and thank you once again for being with us here. I hope you learned a lot from our video today. If you have questions or suggestions or comments, please do send them below so that I could address them. I'll be more than happy to guide you, to help you. I hope that you're safe, you're well, okay, despite all of the challenges so far. Again, whenever you need help, okay, there are so many agencies, places, and this channel is one of the places you can actually have assistance. So I hope that you keep moving forward to be able to prepare for this school year. Okay. Please don't forget to to subscribe, and to share this video for to whoever will need it. Okay? Maraming salamat. Till the next video.